Hello everyone, I am Silverraptor and welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena, where we're going to be building another deck today, and I am joined once again by Thrantar. Hello Thrantar.
Hello, Silverraptor. This is Thrantar, once again joining in on this nice co-cast of Magic the Gathering's newest online endeavor, Magic the Gathering Arena.
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
thank you for lending your expertise. So, as you can see, there's been a massive update in the game since we last made the Locust God. It's, I think, Dominaria?
Dominaria, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know too much about it, just that more cards, more availability, and looks like they're going to be incorporating quick drafts in the future. So that could be an option for a later video.
Right, it sounds like they're starting to implement some of the classic infrastructure behind the different forms of Magic play, in addition to just the constructed that we've had so far.
Okay. So we're going to be making another deck. I think I told you that we are going to be focusing on -1/-1 as the focus, throwing in the Scorpion Gods there because he benefits from that. So also, we do have a number of new packs that I got since the update. So I was thinking we can open these packs, get more available cards that could assist us in creating said deck. Sounds good?
So yeah, why don't we go ahead and open these, see what we got.
Actually, we've also got 2,000 coins. Why don't we buy another couple other packs? So, which packs do we want? We can get, Dominaria, Rivals of Ixalan, Hour of Devastation, and Amon.
If you're looking to do a deck built around a -1/-1 counter theme, I recommend either Amonkhet or Hour of Devastation, just because those have fairly strong mechanical support.
Let's get one of each. Alright. So we'll begin with Rivals of Ixalan and then move on.
Okay.
Alright, so this first pack, let's see what we get. We get Phantom Fleet Border, we get Relic, Strider Harness, Legion, Sun Sentinel, not a whole lot. What's this? Cherished Hatchling? When it dies, you may cast either spell this turn as though they had Flash. Whenever you cast a spell this turn, it gains when this creature is in the battlefield, you may have it fight another target creature. So that's just kind of like a defend, get out a stronger dinosaur from your hand kind of thing on their turn. Doesn't seem too good.
It's got very, very strong thematic flavor. It's a cherished hatchling, so when it dies, you can cast its parent, and its parent will try and fight whatever killed it.
Right, but it doesn't seem
it's a great
too
flavor. It's a great success from a flavor standpoint. From a mechanical standpoint, it's okay, and the payoff is good, but your opponent controls when you could possibly get the payoff.
Right.
And in general, giving choices to your opponent is worse than not giving choices to your opponent.
Right. Deep Root Elite basically adds to more Merfolk if we wanted to make a Merfolk deck. We'll do another Rivals of Ixalan. We've got a 5/3 creator here. Flood of Recollection, Pitless Plunderer. Not sure. What's this? Ooh, we got a rare wild card. So we can convert that if we need to for this upcoming deck.
Alright. Yes, wild cards are always going to be generically good.
Yeah. I also did notice that this had a bug, because when I hit this card, when the cards, flew off to the left here, it actually changed the color to these cards right here just before it went over. I saw it was like red and green. Yeah, so that's just a bug I noticed with my keen eyesight. Let's see what the rare is. Hour of Promise. That looks like a Locust God in the background. Search your library.
That is Locust God in the background. The Hour of Promise, unfortunately, is not a particularly good card for a Locust God deck.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them in the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. Then, if you control 3 or more deserts, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Okay, that's okay. Well, we'll just keep moving on. Amonkhet. See what this has. Nothing that would give us -1/-1. Oh, this one would. Whenever you cycle or discard the card, you may pay 1 if you do put -1/-1 counter on target
That
creature.
would. We're not terribly likely to be doing too much cycling or discarding, though.
Right. And we've got a red-black cycling card.
That, on the other hand, will almost certainly be playing.
Okay. Now we'll be able to access the newest pack, Dominaria. No idea what kind of cards are in here. We've got Voltaic Servant. Okay, untap target artifact, Frenzied Rage. Wait a minute. Oh, end step. Okay. Okay. So, I'm not quite sure. It looks like there's going to be a little more humans in here, but I'm not quite sure.
There'll be a decent number of humans, yeah.
Hello, what is this? Flying. You, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you have hexproof. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Holy crap. It's expensive, but this could be a really good white-green deck card.
Right. The upfront rate as a 3/4 for 4 is decent. The effect of putting a +1/+1 counter on all of your creatures is very good, but if you only have the one creature in play, it's
Right.
not really worth 6 mana. Like, you need to be wide before.
Right. So you need to have a lot of tokens and critters out on the field before you play this guy.
Before you really get value out of activating the ability. It's a fine body if you just play it on curve. A
Right.
3/4 flyer for 4 is not bad.
Right. Alright. Another pack. New stuff. I'm looking for stuff that has to do with -1/-1.
Honestly, you're not going to find anything that directly has to do with -1/-1 counters here.
No.
Generally, -1 counters are not tremendously common. Just because it's easier to design cards that use +1/+1 counters, and due to the way things mechanically work, you generally don't have -1/-1 and +1/+1 counters in the same set.
Okay. Oh, what's this? This legendary enchantment, when it enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent you control, return to the battlefield under its owner control at the beginning of the next end step. You may activate the loyalty ability of planeswalkers you control twice each turn rather than once. So this would be more like a focus on a planeswalker deck. Okay. Too bad we don't have any planeswalkers that I know of. Okay. Interesting set of cards that are out. Ooh, Warlord's Fury. Creatures you control gain first strike until end of turn and draw a card.
Adventurous Impulse is actually pretty solid.
Which one?
On the bottom in the middle.
Oh. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may field a creature or land from among them. Put it in your hand. The rest, yeah, that's a sifting through your deck card.
Card selection is good. Some cards in your deck are more useful than others at any given time.
And this one you may pay for and tap an untapped artifact you control rather than paying this spell's mana cost. Oh. It's just an alternate paying, a cheaper paying for instead of the 6 mana.
Right.
Yeah, that's an interesting
But a
mechanic.
5/6 flyer for 4 mana is an amazingly good rate, even if it's not a particularly good rate at the face cost of 6.
Right. Right. And finally, we've got a green-blue. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest or an island. Huh. So this is one of them where you don't play on your first turn sometimes.
Right. Or if you've got several, like, you can still just end up playing one on your first turn because you don't have anything better to do.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be creating a deck based on the Scorpion God. Put that guy in. And then I think if we put -1/-1, yeah, it'll put all the different kind of -1/-1 guys in, so we can go through and see what kind of deck we want to make.
Right, but I actually expand your search a little bit to -1/-1 counter, because we don't want things like, for instance, the Skullduggery in the bottom left.
Oh, hang on. Let me
Well, that was at the bottom left. Now it's been removed, but
yeah. Hang on. Let me just double check that what you were saying. This one?
right. That's not something that really helps because it doesn't actually generate a -1/-1 counter. It just gives something -1/-1 until end of turn.
We want counters because that is what triggers the Scorpion God.
Right.
Okay. So -1/-1 counters. All right. Ruthless Sniper. Would you think that would work?
Honestly, probably not. How many cards are you expecting to cycle or discard?
True. All right. Cartouche of Ambition, though. That seems like a must.
The cartouche can certainly be good. The trick to the cartouche is making sure that we have creatures to put it on.
Right. I'm just using it as a placeholder so that we can easily just swap it back in. Nest of Scarabs. I think if we're going to be putting -1/-1 counters, this is a must with everything as well.
It's certainly a strong effect. However, how strong it is varies greatly with how dedicated we can end up being to the -1/-1 counter theme.
Okay, so we can come back to that.
If our entire deck is -1/-1 counters, then it'll look great. But if we just have a few good cards that coincidentally have some -1/-1 counters attached, then it's not going to pay off well enough.
Well, just looking at this Nest of Scarabs and then this Plague Belcher. So for example, let's say we had some Scarabs. If we get this Belcher out, we could put 2 -1/-1 counters on one of the Scarabs. We lose that, but then we get 2 more Scarabs.
We get 1 more Scarab.
Oh, one or more. Yeah.
Right, and that only really works if we already have a Scarab out. So we need to have already played something else that put -1/-1 counters on things.
Right. Okay, so there's a lot of abilities. I think we might want to focus our search to creatures for the moment.
Sure.
Magmaros. Will we be playing a lot of spells? Because
I don't think we'll be playing that many non-creature spells.
Right. Channeler Initiate.
We definitely want the Channeler Initiate.
We do? You said?
Yeah. Yes. Like, we're either going to be splashing the black or splashing the red, and I'm not sure which yet. But one of our main colors is going to be green.
Okay, and then this Defiant Great Maw, which we opened in that last episode.
We want the Defiant Great Maw.
Yeah.
We also want the Plague Belcher, I think.
The which one?
The Plague Belcher, bottom left.
Okay. Ornery Kudo. Enters battlefield, put -1/-1 counter on target creature you control.
Yeah, put them in for now.
Yeah, we can put more in later. Ah, okay, so we don't have a lot of creatures that do -1/-1.
Right, so that's not like, this is why the Nest of Scarabs isn't going to be all that great. We have things that work with the theme, but we don't have enough cards to make just everything be -1/-1
right
all day.
Whenever Obelisk Spider deals combat damage to a creature, put -1/-1 counter on that creature. Whenever we put 1 or more -1/-1 counters on a creature, each opponent loses 1 life and gain 1 life. I think this is kind of a must.
Yeah, we'll put that in.
Alright. Now, I am also going to put in unowned, because we can always convert.
True.
So this one, if 1 or more -1/-1 counters...
Just look specifically at green, black, and red.
Green, black, and red. Okay, yeah, I didn't see that. Okay, so black, red, green. Okay. Festering Mummy.
And note that the killer selection, if you look to the right of the term entry box, where we have -1/-1 counter right now.
Which
So
one?
see where we typed in -1/-1 counter in the search bar? if you look to the right of that, there's actually a quick select for colors there.
Yeah, I overlooked that. Festering Mummy. That could be potentially good with our -1/-1 team.
Festering Mummy is potentially good. I think we're going to end up looking for a slightly different die effect, but it's certainly a potential.
Yeah, I'm just thinking with that Nest of Scarabs. If we put the Nest of Scarabs, put the -1/-1 counter on Festering Mummy, it dies, and we put another -1/-1 counter on another creature they have or something.
If they have creatures, like the Nest of Scarabs needs a lot of things to line up to look really good.
Okay. Alright, so we'll just keep looking through. What do you think of this?
It's not really part of like it uses -1/-1 counters mechanically, but not really in a way that we care about.
Gotcha. Alright.
The Baleful Ahmed is very similar to the Fine Great Maul or the Savage Kudu. Henri. The Henri Kudu. It's very like the Henri Kudu. Except it's a 4/3 with lifelink as opposed to a 3/4, and it's in black instead of green.
Alright. Do we want this or keep looking?
Let's keep looking.
Okay. That's the...
Can you hover over the Scorpion God for a second? I want to look at the ordering. Yeah. The Banemite Punisher can definitely be good.
Okay. I'll just get one for now. Throw that in the deck, and then we can figure out how many we want later. There's a Plague Belcher, but we already have that. Alright, here's the next page. So, for each -1/-1 counter on this guy, you could basically, if you put a bunch of -1/-1s on him, if you put up to 5 -1/-1s on him and he dies, then you can then spread those -1/-1s onto any creature your opponent has.
Yes, one target creature. Which isn't necessarily a bad effect, but you're still out the creature, right? You're out the Soul Stinger.
Right.
So you had a 4-mana removal spell that made some of your cards incidentally better because they had a place to dump their -1/-1 counters. Or you play him on turn 4 and have something to dump the counters on, and he's a 4/5, which is a little bit ahead of the curve. And that's kind of cool, but you, again, already had something else in play to dump the counters on.
Right. What's this?
Strong card, strong effect, but we're not building a cycling deck.
Right.
Again, strong card, strong effect, but we're not likely to have that much burn, to have that much non-combat damage.
Yeah, I was just reading it. Whenever a simpler strength attacks, remove it, -1/-1 counter from it. If you do, you gain 1 life. Okay.
Sting Sunflower Strength can be very good on turn 2 on the play.
Right.
If you can play him on turn 2, and then he attacks on turn 3 as a 2/2, and you can get him through at all, he can just keep growing for a little bit and end up as a large body ahead of the curve, and that can be strong.
Alright,
but if you play him later, he doesn't really do anything because his ability to do anything is considered on the strength of a 2/2 to attack your opponent's board.
Right.
Or to have another creature to dump the counters on to make him a 4/4.
Alright, so I think we'll pass him for now. We can always come back. So we got those guys. Crocodile of the Crossing. He's got haste, which is always good. Crocodile of the Crossing into the battlefield. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature you control. Okay. Not sure.
I mean, he's honestly pretty solid. 5 power of haste for 4 mana is a good rate, And honestly, even if you just play him as a 4/3 because he puts the counter on himself, a 4/3 haste for 4 is still a lot of pressure. Like, there can be a lot of pressure
Okay.
coming out very quickly.
And I'll just throw one in. Alright. We're reaching the end of the -1/-1 creatures.
Did you actually throw him in?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, there he is. Okay.
Let's see. As long as the creature has -1/-1 counter on it, Tenacious Hunter has Vigilance and Death Touch. I think we need this if we have so many -1/-1 counters on our creatures.
So that's the question, though, is what...
Oh, it says
what
any
we're
creature. Not just a creature we control,
Yeah,
any creature.
As long as a creature, yes. But most of our creatures put -1/-1 counters on our creatures. With the exception of really the activated ability on the Scorpion God, and the Obelisk Spider might put one somewhere, and the Banewheel Punisher, of course, can pass one out to the enemy.
So, put this guy in, do you think, or no?
A 4/4 with Vigilance and Death Touch is a good rate. The question is, how many creatures are actually going to have -1/-1 counters on them?
I think with what we have already and how we can just dump -1/-1s on any creature we control, including themselves, we will have. There's going to be -1/-1 counter on the board. A lot, I think. So, yeah, I'll get one of them.
Okay.
Alright, this, let's see, discard a card, puts -1/-1 counter on target creature. That creature can't block this turn. Don't think so. What's this? Whenever Vizier of Poison deals combat damage to a player, you may put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Whenever you put one or more -1/-1 counters on a creature, create a 1/1 green snake creature token with Death Touch. That doesn't seem too good because it requires him to actually get to the player and hit him.
No. Well, I mean, yes for the first bit, but the second bit doesn't care where you got the -1/-1 counters from.
I see. And he is only a black-green.
Right, so there are two distinct abilities. One, which says whenever you deal combat damage to a player, you can put a -1/-1 counter on things. And a different, entirely unrelated one that says whenever you put -1/-1 counters on a creature, get a snake. And as it turns out, these work very well together.
Ah. Okay. What do you think?
Definitely good. The question's whether you're willing to burn the rare wild cards.
How many do I have? 9. Yeah, I'm willing to give it a try. So we got one of those. I think we probably want another Obelisk Spider, don't we?
Yeah, throw in our second Obelisk Spider.
And what's this Decimator Beetle? In this battlefield, put -1/-1 target creature you control. Whenever attacks, remove a -1/-1 from target creature you control. Put -1/-1 on up to one target creature defending player controls. That, with all the -1/-1s we'd be putting on our creatures, that could definitely help out.
I mean, it's good, yes, but it's also very slow. Because we're going to play this 5-mana card, and then we're going to attack with it, and then each time we attack, we get to get rid of one -1/-1 counter and put one -1/-1 counter on something. This is not very fast.
So you'd say skip him?
Honestly, yeah, skip him for now.
Okay. So what kind of search should we look for now?
Clear the -1/-1 counter search and search for dies.
Okay.
Because what we're looking for right now are things that we can put -1/-1 counters on.
Like this?
And right, like the Doom Dissenter is great because say on, and it's a comment I'd consider just crafting 3 more of him, honestly.
Okay. Continue?
Yeah.
No. Continue what you were saying.
Okay, because, for instance, you play Doom Dissenter on turn 2.
Yeah.
And then you have this 1/1. And then on turn 3 you play, say, your Defiant Great Maul.
Yeah.
I'm going to hover over the Defiant Great Maul for a second, and you put all of the counters on the Doom Dissenter.
Ah.
The Doom Dissenter dies, and when he dies, he gives you a 2/2.
Right.
And you also have this 4/5 Defiant Great Maul.
Yeah.
And like a 4/5 is large for turn 3. And you also got this 2/2.
Yeah. Okay. And whenever we put a -1/-1 counter on Defiant Great Ball, we can remove a -1/-1 from another target creature.
Yes.
Huh. Okay. Ruined Rat? Don't think so. I mean,
No.
yeah. Tattered Mummy. Each opponent loses 2 life.
No, we're not situated to be a deck that's trying to kill the opponent's face. We're looking to create a board presence and then win with our board presence. So by causing our opponent to lose 2 life at some point is mostly incidental. Either we can establish a winning board, or we can't establish a winning board.
Right. When Richard Crumble dies, if you control a Tether, or there's a Tether card in your graveyard, whenever this dies, create a 1/1 green Sepperling token. Don't think so.
Right, that's mostly just a worse version of the Doom Dissenter for us, because we want the back end to be big and the front end to be bad.
Right. We passed over him. We got a Harpy. Whenever another creature you control dies, if you have the State's Blessing ++1/+1 counter on. Nope. Yeah. Enkindling Phoenix. No, that's too expensive for mountains. We're really low on mountain for the moment.
Yeah. The Feral Prowler, though,
But damage
is definitely solid. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna put all 3 in, and then we can just remove them later. World Shaper. You may put the top 3 cards in your library. World Shaper die, put all land cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. I don't think we're gonna be cycling. That's a cycle card. We're not cycling, right?
It's not necessarily for cycling, but you certainly want to have a supplemental plan for how you're going to get lands into your graveyard to make it do things.
Right. No. Nope. Whenever a Sepperling you control dies, Slimefoot, the Stowaway deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. Create a 1/1 green Sepperling creature token. No.
Yeah, but we're not making that many Sepperlings, so it's not really
Right.
where we're at.
Okay, so that's all the cards that appears to be involved when something dies.
Okay, so we're going to go through. We'll look at your mana base next.
Okay,
So if you want to, right, can you filter for lands you have in your collection?
Just here down below. 11 swamps, 12 forests, 1.
No, search. Can you search for lands that you have?
Oh, yeah. I think we'll have to do a land. That's why. Okay. Huh? land you see here?
So how many? Keep scrolling over for a second. And actually, if you want to turn off show unowned. We definitely want the cavern slow. We're primarily in black and green. We'll take the foul orchards. They're kind of meh, but honestly...
All of them?
Yeah, all of them. Next page. Okay.
We could put Cinder Barrens or Temper Gorge in.
Sorry, Cinder Barrens or which one?
Or Temper Gorge.
Yeah, put in... call it 2 of each. Okay, let's go back to the previous page. Can you mouse over the memorial to Unity? I don't remember what it does. Yeah, run a copy.
Okay.
So can you pull up the deck examiner and look at what our mana curve looks like right now?
A lot of mana. But we're not at 60 yet.
Yeah, we're not at 60 yet, but I'm trying to, I was looking at our mana curve in terms of what our cards cost. Yeah. Because you sort of want cards of all costs, so you always have, so that you have something to do at every stage of the game.
Right. Right now, all we have are creatures.
Sure, let's take a look at things that are black or green and cost 1.
Unowned or just owned?
Just owned is fine.
Creatures?
Everything.
Oh, everything. Nah.
Yeah, we're not after the Blight Keeper.
Don't need exploring. It's just you exile cards and you explore, but that's not the Silverraptor deck.
Not everything has to be about the theme of your deck, to be honest. You can play cards that are good because they're good.
Okay.
I'm not sure how often our opponent is going to have 2 cards in their graveyard is my only concern there.
Yeah.
Divest is fine, but let's keep looking. We're going to move on to the next page. Supernatural Stamina can be a pretty good trick. Let's run, say, 2 copies.
I see. So we would put that down, then when we summon a creature, put the -1/-1 until that creature dies and returns to our hand. Or returns to the battlefield under our control without the -1/-1 counters.
Okay, so envision this scenario. We play a Doom Dissenter.
Yeah.
And then on turn 3, we play another Doom Dissenter and pass the turn with a black mana open. They attack into our Doom Dissenter. We give it +2/+0.
Right.
It blocks, it trades because it's a 3/1.
Right.
It dies, it leaves behind a zombie, and then it comes back.
Oh, So we have a zombie and a Doom Dissenter.
Right, and we traded with their attacking creature.
Ha! Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
You can get some good trades out of it. And also, it's a potential method of protecting this Scorpion God if we see him. Is that if they try and kill him, and they're not using something that exiles, while we could wait around and replay him the following turn, that takes a bunch of mana, and if we have the spare black, we're perfectly happy to save the mana, depending on board state, etc.
Okay. A lot of this is just +1/+1.
The Adventurous Impulse is good. We should probably run the Adventurous Impulse.
Okay. Life goes on. If a creature dies, we gain 8 life, but I mean, what's the point of that?
In general, life gain isn't that good in Magic.
Yeah.
Honestly, of course, having more life is, broadly speaking, strictly better than having less life. But
it's a resource. If you're not spending that resource.
Well, by that logic, gaining life should be great because it gives you more life to spend on things. But the problem is that you will gain or lose so much more life over the course of the game by having control over the board, by being able to fight for the board.
Okay.
And Life Goes On doesn't replace itself. When you play Life Goes On, you're down a card. Right. So if you play Life Goes On and your opponent plays a 2/2,
you just bought yourself only 4 turns with just that 2/2.
You bought yourself 4 turns if you got the 8 life, and only 2 turns if you didn't, and you're down a card, and they're down a card, but their card's going to keep generating value over the course of the game.
This card's just a 1-use value, and then it doesn't do anything.
Right. And you're not netting anything on your opponent, because you're still going to need to answer the 2/2 at some point. Right? You can't let it sit around, and it's buying you draw steps. You're going to draw cards because you have the extra life to take another turn or 2 or 3 or 4. But your opponent in that time is going to draw 2 or 3 or 4 cards. So you're not actually getting ahead there, and you're still behind on the board.
Right. I'm just looking at the single cost for red cards, because we do have red. I didn't expect to find anything, but I'm just taking a quick look.
I mean, again, running cheap burn spells isn't necessarily bad, but the thing is, since we have since we're very biased towards green and black, we're not going to have red mana early.
Gotcha.
We should expect to have red mana early. So if we want to splash red cards, which we totally can, we're splashing after all, the Scorpion God.
Gotcha.
We don't need them to be early cards, though, because we're not going to have early red mana.
Okay. Okay. So what are we searching for now? We got to the end here, and none of these cards are good.
If you want to pull up your deck summary again for a second. Let's look for some things that cost 4, 5, or 6.
Just owned, right?
Yeah, just owned is fine.
Why is this appearing up? I only have
green.
These 3.
She's appearing because of the green mana symbol in her text box.
Gotcha. Okay, let's see. Well, that's good for a zombie deck.
Bone Picker's potentially fine. 3/2 fire for 1 is very cheap. a 3/2 flyer for 4 is not terribly exciting.
Right.
But if, for instance, we play a Defiant Great Maul or the Ornery Kudu on turn 4, kill off one of our creatures, and drop the Bone Picker, that's a lot of tempo.
I'll just put them in.
Which reminds me, we need to add the remaining Ornery Kudus.
I removed it. 1 sec. Have to reset. There.
The problem of adding a bunch of things as placeholders is that if we can't remember that they were placeholding things and never go back to pick them up, it works less well.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. Okay, Impale, that's a nuke. We don't have any explorers, so this wouldn't work.
Yeah, we're not all about exploring that.
Does this work with tokens? Like, if a token
Yes.
dies, this triggers?
Yes. Tokens are creatures.
Okay.
If it didn't work with tokens, it would say something like whenever another non-token creature you control
Gotcha.
dies. But if it just says another creature, yeah, tokens. Tokens are
We could
fine.
get a number of our red mana from this guy.
Yeah, we can definitely add a copy of him.
Okay.
He can potentially both accelerate us out ahead of curve
Yeah.
by giving us a bunch of treasure to cash in at once.
Yeah.
Let's actually play the Ravenous Chupacabra.
Yeah, that's a good nuke.
There's good value in playing him, and because there's a lot of value in the playing, that means that if we have to, we can just dump counters on him to kill him because we got the
initial value from him of
effect.
killing. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Don't think we need Vraska's Contempt.
I'd actually run the copy of Vraska's Contempt.
Because of
Here's why.
Planeswalkers?
Because it says exile.
Oh, we can get rid of
And
the
also
Scarab God.
Planeswalkers. Right. There are a lot of annoying things that keep coming back, and Vraska's Contempt will mostly solve that.
Yeah. Alright. Just a plain creature here, not particularly exciting.
Yeah, that's really not exciting.
That doesn't work. Battlefield, each player loses up to a third of their life rounded up. Probably
We
not.
don't really want to lose a third of our life. We're kind of using it for things.
Yeah. Eternal Reward, Horror of the Broken Lands. We're not cycling.
We're not cycling.
We're not destroying land either.
Yeah, we're not destroying land.
Ooh.
Honestly, let's go ahead and play him.
Put him in?
Put him in. We could use something at the top of our curve. We could use a little bit more removal. And having something that is strong independent of the rest of your deck is good, especially in formats with sideboarding, because if they, for instance, sideboard in something that really messes up your plan to put -1/-1 counters on things, that doesn't necessarily do anything about 6/6s that clear their board when you play them.
Yeah, they clear the board when you play them. Okay. Can't attack or block alone. That's boring. Into the battlefield, explores. Create a colorless treasure artifact. Well, that would be fun. I don't know if we'll get too much value from him. Wait, I just thought of something. What if? But it would be really expensive. If we
Right. You can certainly steal a creature from your opponent, then play something that will put -1/-1 counters on it.
And then it would go back to his turn. He'd still have -1/-1. So the problem is that we're already down we're down 4 mana.
Right, you are down 4 mana. That said, you don't actually have that many expensive creatures.
Oh right, a lot of our creatures that put -1/-1s are like 3 or 2 or 4.
Sure. Add in a captivating crew.
1 or 2.
I can scroll down. I want to see how many mountains the system is giving you automatically.
So we have 2 from Tinder Gorge, 2 here, 1 here, and then 1 there.
Yeah, sure. Add a second one. Not really interested in any of those.
Right. Our destruction, we don't have really the the mountains to afford that.
Really where we want to be.
Huh?
I was saying none of those are really where we want to be.
Yeah. Nothing on this page, really. Let's see. Destroy target land. This is literally like clear the entire board. Nothing surviving after it takes 20 damage.
There are a couple things, but yeah, I wouldn't expect to see anything. But for instance, things that are indestructible will live through it. You can get something that's more than 20 toughness if you really work at it.
What about Mouth and Feed? We get a crippled creature, and then because we have a lot of power, 3 or greater power, we'd be able to draw cards. The problem is we can't really rely on that 3 greater power because of all the -1/-1s that we'd be putting on our creatures.
Okay, so if all we get out of it is Mouth, and we get a 3/3 for 3, that's a pretty meh rate.
Yeah.
It's something we can do if we don't have anything better to do.
Okay.
And then we don't have to, like, if we can't cash in the feed immediately, that's fine. Either they'll expend some amount of effort to get it out of our graveyard, or to keep our board clear so that we can't cash it in for value, or we'll cash it in for value at some point when we don't have anything better to do.
Okay. So you
I think at it.
Okay.
I don't think Mouth to Feed will ever be like that amazingly good, but it's hard for it to be bad. It's at worst mediocre.
Okay.
And this is fundamentally why I was lobbying against Nest of Scarabs, is because one Nest of Scarabs is good, it's good, but when it isn't good, it is just completely useless.
Gotcha. Okay.
And when building, you need to look at both the potential upside, but also what the worst case scenario is.
Gotcha. Well, that's why you're here. You're the expert.
I wouldn't go quite so far as to call myself an expert, but yeah, I've got a bit of a background.
Yeah.
Alright, if you want to go ahead to the next page.
Yeah, nothing more on that page for us.
The Vizier of the Menagerie should just generally be solid for us. We're very creature heavy.
Oh, and then we can spend mana as if it were any mana type. So if we don't have any of the mountains and we happen to top deck the Scorpion God whenever...
I mean, that's cool, but that's not real. That's not the real selling point. The selling point is being able to cast the top card of our library if it's a creature card.
we have a lot of creatures. Okay.
Right. Because whenever we cast a card off the top of our library, right, we're essentially drawing a card because there'll be a new card on top of our library to replace it.
Is that ability when it comes onto the field?
No, that's static. As long as it is in play,
So we can keep constantly...
these three things are true. We keep being able to cast the top card of our library as long as the top card of our library is a creature.
And we can keep looking to see what our next card is.
Right, we will always see the top card of our library.
Okay. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
5/5 for 5.
We unfortunately don't have enough deserts
Right.
for
I was just
Hour of
reading its
Promise to
ability.
be.
Yeah. Move on.
Move on.
This card can be good in the right circumstances.
It's very much another card that can independently take over a game.
Yeah.
Like you can slam down Tendershoot Dryad, and if they can't find an answer for it within, a turn or two, then it can just run away with the game.
Right. We've got Colossal Dreadmaw. No. Hexproof. Does this mean we can't put -1/-1 counters on it?
No, it may not be to the target of spells or abilities your opponents control.
Oh. Hexproof is pretty decent.
Hexproof is very good. If you look at some older cards, you'll occasionally see Shroud, which was similar, but things with Shroud can't be targeted by anyone.
Ah.
Which is... You'd like to be able to do things to your own creatures, usually.
Yeah. Alright. I don't know if we want this or not. It's expensive.
Behemoth.
What?
I said I'm not terribly sold on the skilled Behemoth.
Yeah. Can't be blocked with creatures with power 2 or less. And it's a cycling.
So I think options you're potentially looking at here, you could play the Tendershoot Dryad. It's another card that can just independently win games. Sort of the same principle for why we put in, what's his name, the Primal Death.
Right.
Is that he's something that must be answered, and if not answered...
You said oh, right. That guy. Okay.
So I'd add the Tendershoot Dryad, honestly.
Okay.
You could try putting in the Sifter Worm, although
Sifter Worm?
it's not... You could try playing it. I don't think it's going to end up being that great. It's big, and you do have things to find that you're trying to find with the Scry Trigger. Like, you have this, idea of finding the Scorpion God and enjoying the Scorpion God. And scrying 3 would help you do that. But there aren't that many big hits. You're not likely to get that much life out of the Scry Trigger.
I don't think it... I'm not sold on it. Not for this deck. Nothing more here.
Yeah, that's...
Right, okay.
Oh, you do have the Galta. That's right.
Yeah, I got one Galta. But we don't have We don't have enough dinosaurs or cultists to really make it worthwhile.
I mean, Galta doesn't care about you having dinosaurs.
Well, actually, yes, it does. Oh no, creatures. Ah.
Creatures. We have lots of creatures, and they are oversetted for their cost, assuming that you can minimize the drawback.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is, we're assuming we can minimize the drawback, but sometimes we'll be forced in situations where we can't minimize the drawback.
Right.
So it'd be pushing it. If you really are sold on it, I can put Galta in.
Put in the Galta, put in the struggle.
Alright. And then looking at a few more. This guy has stats up to the wazoo.
I mean, really what it has is every keyword that they thought was a synonym for being fast.
Yeah. Gotta go fast. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the expensive cards.
Alright, well we're at 60 out of 60 now.
Right. I was just thinking, do we want to look at any more type of cards? And
I think we're good for a starting point.
okay. Let's just go over the different type of cards to make sure we have everything. Let me know if there's any card based on the counter, how many if we want any more of a certain card. And I could go over see if we have any more copies.
I mean, I think we caught most of the things that we only picked one copy of.
Yeah, but then again, I also can convert more if there's anything
True.
that you think is a must to get more of.
No, like the real thing I singled out was the Doomed Centers, because just having something to dump the counters on that has incidental value.
And then everything else is just an assist. Alright, so we've got 40% lands, 48% creatures, 12% non-creatures. Most of our spells are in the 2 and 3 and 4 category in terms of cost.
Yeah.
Alright. It's fairly decent. Alright. Guess
Alright, so that's I think a provisional yes, of course you need to drag the Scorpion God up and give it the deck portrait that you want.
What kind of name would we want to give? Strong Poison? Because a lot of our creatures are strong, and -1 is kind of like a poison.
I mean, kind of. You should mostly pick a name that will cause you to remember what the deck does, to be honest.
What would you... Well, give me your best name attempt.
Okay, so myself personally, I'd actually use the Defiant Great Maul as the thumbnail and name the deck Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Even though there's not a whole lot of hippos in here.
No, but I actually consider the Defiant Great Maul to be more emblematic of what this deck is trying to do than the Scorpion God.
Gotcha.
Like, sure, the deck will eventually draw and play the Scorpion God and will enjoy having it in play.
Right. I'm just counting how much red we have. 1, 2, 3. Oh. We only actually have 3 things that use red. Well,
but what you're missing is the fact that both the Captivating Crew and the Scorpion God have activated abilities that require red.
Right. Okay. Yeah, this should work. Alright, so we'll play a couple games with this and see how it does.
Alright then.
Playing, it's been a while since I played with, say, more than 2-colored deck.
That is definitely one of...
Ooh, we've got Doom Dissenter at the start.
Keep. That's a keeper.
So
there
this first, then
are a couple
that.
Yeah, the Timberline Gorge first.
So he'll think we're probably a red, green buff deck. But little does he know what's really in store.
So honestly, at this... You probably want the swamp, because you want the untapped land right now.
Yeah.
Because you have this Doom Dissenter to play.
Yeah. You were saying?
I was gonna say, honestly, I don't think anyone you're running into yet really has a large enough collection or tuned enough decks to be able to judge much. You're gonna end up playing a tapped land. There's no real choice about that.
Which one would you want? What do you think?
Honestly, I'd probably get the Foul Orchard's fine.
And then hold off. Oh,
And
no,
then
wait. We
grab-
could do the Supernatural Stamina attack trick. But then he'd draw a card. But then we'd have
Right.
have 2 creators. Skip or try it.
I'd go ahead and pass the turn.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna give it to the Flash.
And then if he attacks with the Feral Prowler, I would not bother blocking.
Yeah, because I wanted to keep it for the cheetah.
Right, and also the Feral Prowler only does 1 damage. That's just not
Hello.
any damage.
Okay. This guy.
I'd actually put down the Memorial to Unity.
Okay. We could do the Defiant Great Maw and get a zombie back.
We could do the Frank Great Maw and get a zombie back, or we could... yeah, I think we would have passed the turn.
Pass the turn.
Because our objective is he's going to attack with both of his creatures on his turn. And then we'll use the Supernatural Stamina on the
Right.
Doom Dissenter
Okay.
and block the cheetah.
Okay. Alright. Mind games. Why can't I play this? There we go.
And then this should hopefully generate us our value zombie
Yeah.
and trade off with his larger creature. And then we still have
Yeah.
the Doom Dissenter in play to drop off our counters from the Defiant Great Maw.
Yeah. Ah! So we put the Defiant Great Maw on the Doom Dissenter, and then when we do the ordinary Kudu, we can put it on the Doom Dissenter and get another of those guys back. Oh look, another ordinary Kudu.
Let me think for a second. Can you mouse over the Defiant Great Maw for a second? Yeah, go ahead and play... Play the Defiant Great Maw
And where should I put the,
on the Doom Dissenter.
the -1/-1. Gotcha.
Right. And then it'll die and it'll give you another zombie. Although, to be technical, we should have done this after we attacked first, but it's a little late for that now, so...
Okay. Sorry. I gotta remember second phase.
Yeah, it's all about like a lot of Magic is just about sequencing
Timing.
your plays to just make sure you extract all of the possible value.
Yeah. And then attack with this guy.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and attack with that guy.
I just realized he's mana screwed. He hasn't played any land for a couple turns. Because we've got 5 land and we've been playing 1 a turn. And he's only got 3.
True. So if you think that he's mana screwed, that is certainly a decent confirmation of him thinking he's mana screwed, is that he's desperately trying to find land right now.
Right. So we could do Doom Dissenter, then an Ornery Kudu. Should we do the second phase?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Combat?
Go ahead, combat first.
Don't attack with the zombies. Oh, well, we can.
Why not? He's got him on 3.
Right, he can't kill them, they can't kill it. Alright. And he wouldn't be able to draw a card.
Right.
Okay.
I suspect he's going to block the Defiant Great Maul because it prevents the miss damage and also helps him get the card he's desperately looking for.
Right. Okay, so Doom Dissenter. Which is the correct one to tap here? Something not green. Then alright, so we'll put this guy out. I'm liking the feel of this deck so far. I mean, one game.
Well, I mean, when the
very
Doom
small
Dissenters show up, it certainly works out. They're really they're really part of the glue that holds the entire thing together.
Yeah. I wish we had more cards that benefited like that. All right. Play another game.
Sure. I mean, that's why we did the search for things that die.
Yeah, but they didn't have that. Unowned or unowned. They just weren't available.
Right. There weren't that many around at this point in time.
2 Doom Dissenters.
This hand is... Having only 2 land is kind of awkward, and we don't have a good payoff. I'd actually mulligan this hand. Yes, it can backfire, I agree. But the game where we play a Doom Dissenter and then a Doom Dissenter and sit around...
This is the hand that's even worse, because we can't even play the Doom Dissenter.
Then mulligan again.
Alright, we have to do this. Yeah. Keep that forest, right?
Yeah, keep the forest. And one of the reasons why the Feral Prowlers are good for us is because they're another good thing to
dump on.
To dump counters on.
Yeah. Oh, he's playing a dinosaur deck. Because I mean, if you're just using that card to pull land, not really worth it. So he should have dinosaurs in his deck, I'm assuming.
Or he has specific lands that he really wants.
Yeah, but if he didn't get any lands, then he couldn't use the other benefit of that card.
Well, you only ever reveal 1 card, so as long as you have a hit in your top 5, you don't necessarily need to have both a dinosaur and a land.
Yeah, but if you didn't have a dinosaur or a land, then all 5 cards would just go to the bottom of your deck. And there's the dinosaur that I'm pretty sure existed. Snapping Sailback. Okay.
So we're going to attack first.
Yeah. Sequencing.
Because, of course, once your Feral Prowler has a -1/-1 counter, it will be a 0/2.
Right.
And while 0/2s can attack, they just don't get very much done when they do.
Yep. This is true. This is true. Alright, so he's got 4 mana. This is about the time when dinosaur decks really get into their stride. Oh. What's this? Enters battlefield, you may put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, sacrifice, destroy target creature that has -1/-1 counter on it. We don't have anything to nuke. This thing itself is a nuke. Let's see, put down the forest.
Okay, so...
Wait, I'll just get in the habit of doing second phase.
Yeah.
Attack with this, he'll probably block it, then nuke it, and then we'll play another ordinary kudu. What do you think?
Yeah. That could work.
And if he doesn't, then oh well, we play another ordinary kudu. Yep, he's doing exactly what I thought he'd do. Now, whenever I first saw the creature with a -1 attack, I'm like, what does it do? Heal the opponent that it hits?
Sadly, no.
I know.
Damage dealt is a minimum of 0.
Yeah, but it would be funny. They could, like, give so much -1 attack, it actually heals the opponent. Oh, dear. Well, we can go. Block with this. And be able to... Oh, wait, it's got trample.
I
Well,
mean, we still want to cash in to draw the card, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that would help us cycle. Okay, we got a swamp. We got 2 more lands. Great. I probably just run this out.
No. You want the swamp. Because you're going to cast the main Punisher, you're going to leave the black open.
Right, okay. Then summon this guy. Or should I wait for second main phase again?
In this case, I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I'm going to put the magic counter on the Monster Star.
Oh, and I can't sacrifice it this turn, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that said, I'm not sure there was any hurry to sacrifice it right now as opposed to during his combat, but there wasn't any real compelling reason not to either, so...
Right. That thing. Aha! Oh, okay, we can stop that. So don't attack this turn. Throw down the Foul Orchard on the field.
Yeah, might as well play the Foul Orchard. He's not going to be running Mathland Destruction.
Alright, so if he attacks with Snapping Sailback, we can use Supernatural Stamina and get this guy back onto the field. But then we'd have to put a -1/-1 on it. But
right, but we're still, I think, happy to take out his Snapping Sailback.
Yeah. Especially since this keeps getting +1/+1 counters every time it takes damage.
Right.
Creature gets +1/+1 and has haste, so he's going to attack. No, he can't. He can't put it on the Snapping Sailback because it costs.
One to equip.
Yeah.
He's currently out of mana.
Now, will he actually attack this turn? No, he's not. Interesting. Chandler's Initiate. We kind of have to. We should play this, right?
I mean, you play it, yes. I should go ahead and put the 3 counters on himself.
Okay. And don't attack again, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to give this a +1/+1 next
No, I
turn.
think he's gonna play something new and equip the Strider Harness to it.
Okay. Now, this game we're land flooded at the moment. We've got 6
Yes.
lands. Yeah. Hello? Well, he can't haste it this turn. Nor can we really deal with that. Okay, stop the snap and sail back. Because we can't.
Right, because even with the +2/+0, the Kudu won't be large enough.
And the ordinary Kudu.
I think puts the cover himself, though I'm really not sure.
Otherwise, we have to sacrifice our Chandler's Initiate.
Right.
And
we're
now
just gonna start.
This guy, since we've got -1/-1 counters, he gets Vigilance and Death Touch, which means he can take out that Primal Storm.
Yes.
Oh, I should have used the Chandler's Initiates.
No, you should do that. You should set a stop at the end of his turn, and just make a mana at the end of his turn. You'd rather keep him untapped in case you need him
Oh.
to block sudden.
Are you sure that I could just use the mana and it would remove it at the end of his turn?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see.
Mana burn doesn't exist anymore.
Ah.
I mean, Tremor Initiate would be noticeably worse if it didn't.
Oh, he's going to do 1 damage to any target. Probably going to take out the Chandler. Oh, that's when it attacks.
So,
oh, yeah.
Right. So when he attacks and targets the Tremor Initiate, you tap the Tremor Initiate for mana.
I'm trying. I can't tap it now. Nice. Should I block this guy?
No, just take it on the chin.
We need to use this now.
Yep.
Use Channel Initiate's ability or just a forest?
No, just use a forest.
Bada boom.
Yeah.
And should I start using his reveal ability? Start marking his card?
What's the time restriction on that?
What?
Only during your turn. Yes, we should start using that.
There we go. All are marked. And don't attack this turn.
And don't attack, yep.
So he has to go all in.
Your blocks are probably going to be the Tenacious Hunter blocks the Drover, and then the Registar.
Because they don't have trample.
Kudu, right. And also you want to preserve as many creatures as possible.
Yeah.
Like you're happy to have the Hunter on the other end of playing Tenzamok.
Ah, this guy. Okay. So so he's going to attack with that. I'm going to ignore the Needletooth Raptor. Oh wait, he's going to hit the Tenacious Hunter with that damage 1 ability. Oh no, he's going to attack me? Oh, he's going to. All right. What do you exile? Amount. Okay, not scared or enter the unknown. Okay, so he may play additional land this turn, or if one of the creatures is going to explore.
Right.
The Needletooth Raptor, or some bizarre reason.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So I think I'd actually block the Needletooth Raptor with the Tenacious Hunter. It'll die, but you'd rather preserve Tetzimok for later.
And this guy here?
Yeah. And then you block those because you need to not take giant piles of damage.
Right. It's time.
Play Tetzimok, he'll clean up his prey.
Kill everything.
And now we've got a 6/6 on a clear board. And are in decent position.
Yep. I am liking this deck.
He has really added an explore something to his dinosaurs.
Yep. Okay, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? Trying to get a 3/3 green dragon?
I mean, he's gonna attack. He's gonna get the 3/3 dinosaur.
Nope.
The dinosaur's gonna enter the battlefield and explore.
How about this guy?
Yeah, you can play the Vizier with the Menagerie. The 3 forests and the swamp. Preserve yourself as much flexibility and mana as possible.
Yep.
Now, what's the top of your library there?
We don't have enough mana for it. It's the
Okay,
Splendor.
but it's still... Yeah, you can play the Feral Prowler.
Go ahead, spawn your 3/3 dinosaur. Yeah, you can get 4/4 with that. Oh, you get a mountain. He's gonna get 4/4 because it's gonna get Strider Harness.
Right.
And then if it attacks, we'll block with Feral Prowler so we can draw a card. I'm starting to get the hang of this. Hello, with this. There's no damage. Okay, so it's a 4/3. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals 2 damage to target opponent or Planeswalker. Okay. So he's going to give it the Strider Harness. It's going to be a 5/4. Be able to do damage.
Both are going to attack you.
Alright, how do I want to block this? Hasn't been exerted this turn, you may exert it and it attacks. Yeah. So I'm thinking this blocks this, and then this blocks this. Or just this blocks this.
Yeah. I'd also blocked with the Vizier of the Menagerie.
Oh, really?
Because the thing is we're going to take the 2-point ping. So you're taking the 3 damage coming through and also the 2-point ping. So you're going to be at 2, which means that anything more... Oh, he didn't attack with...
No,
sorry, I thought he attacked with the dinosaur token.
No, he didn't. Doom Dissenter? Or just summon both of them?
I think you're going to summon both of them because you're going to need a lot of blockers. And also, you will not... should not be attacking with Tetzimok.
Right.
Because he's got the Combat Celebrant potential attacks.
Activates an ability or an artifact, creature, or land on the battlefield. If it is a mana ability, deals 2 damage to that player. What does that even mean? That it generates mana?
And a mana ability is a ability that generates mana. Yes.
Okay.
So honestly, you already had all the mana you needed for right now.
Hold it to bluff, right?
Hold it to bluff.
Sorry. So I'll hold this one to bluff then.
I mean, holding it to bluff wouldn't have worked because he can see the top card of our library also.
Oh.
One of the drawbacks of the Vizier definitely can be the knowledge your opponent gains.
Oh no, it says only you can see this card. It's hidden from your opponent.
Oh, sorry, does Vizier say you can look at?
Yeah, you may look at the top card.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay, yeah.
Doom Dissenter. Summon him, right?
Yes. So there are a couple of older effects that say, like, reveal the top card of your library.
No, it's you can look at. Okay.
Yeah.
Summon this guy.
Yes. Like, right now, we need bodies.
Keep this Cinder Barons?
Yeah, keep it around to bluff.
Okay. We're just building up an army. That Explorer is really buffing up his stuff. That's not too bad of a card. Okay, so we've got a lot of lands. I could cycle this.
Yes. Probably for the 2 forests.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Here we go. We can play this. We have another land coming up. Should we put one of these down?
Yeah, play the Memorial to Unity.
And no attacks.
Yeah, at this point I'd say no attacks. You could have considered attacking with one of the Doom Dissenters before playing the Bone Picker to see if you could get him to kill it off.
Oh, but I mean, it wouldn't have done any good because we had so much mana to spare. Oh, he's going to do 2 damage to us with that stupid Frilled Death Spitter. Okay, so he has burned his own.
The thing is, if instead of having a land on the library here, you had a creature and you'd saved the 3 mana from the Bone Picker, you could have played it.
I see what you're saying. I'm gonna take over my Tesmok.
Yep. And he should now attack for lethal because you just don't have enough blockers.
Oh, he's just going to... There's no point. Because he's just going to unblock anything that survived this time anyway.
Right. Now you're going to generate 2 more blockers from the Doom Dissenters, right?
Right.
But the thing is that the pings from what's it, the Raptors, would have done you in.
Right.
From blocking it twice.
Alright. We have been at this for a while. Want to just end the episode here, start up again next episode?
Let's go ahead and end the episode here.
Alright. Then, yep, I'll see you in the next episode. Centaur, and...
Alright, thanks for having me.
Yep, and as well as you, viewers.